EmKay, one question haunts and hurts.
Too much to mention.
Hello, listeners, and welcome to Top Oz Fandom Podcast, Down the Yellow Brick Pod, in our 7th season. Too much to mention because we are still at it. I'm Tara.
And I'm EmKay, and we are your royal custodians meets Connie and Carla of Oz, preserving and peeling back the curtain on the wonderful world located somewhere over the rainbow and its perseverance in culture.
Join us tossing open our textbooks and grimoires as we fall down fresh new rabbit holes this season.
You may find us hanging out with Elphaba's granddaughter in Gregory Maguire's Another Day series.
Or taking a detour, second star to the right and straight on to morning.
Or chasing Judy Garland size rainbows.
Or perhaps providing our L. Frank to be exact, analysis of Wicked for Good. Don't be offended.
In addition, we will also be conducting interviews with Ozian delights in our Slipperhood, Good Witch, and Masters Behind the Curtain series. Stay tuned for a magical lineup of guests.
The Wizard of Oz has been with us like so many of you since our earliest of memories, and now in adulthood, it's gotten us through some frightening times. And friends, we have such faith that it will continue to do so.
Off the pod, please say hi to us on Instagram and TikTok, and consider joining our Patreon Pod Squad if you haven't already. Exclusive content and community events and bonus giveaways, oh my! We live to spoil our Patreon fam, and they are the first to receive all official Down the YBP updates, including discounts to live shows, merch, and our annual retreat. Sign up today with a free week trial at any tier. Your support makes the pod's dreams that we dared to dream really do come true.
Now, may the world of Oz continue to be a bewitching escape in bewildering years, nostalgic and nuanced, and keep on changing us for good. To Oz, EmKay.
To Oz. When he was just 6 years old, Derek Lajeunesse was introduced to perhaps the love of his life. Judy Garland may have walked out of the sepia farmhouse into Oz, but she really stepped into Derek's life and never left. From her movies to music and everything in between, his fascination with all things Judy has never dimmed. From home base of London, Ontario, Canada, Derek is also the creator of The Dream Factory. Also in 2016, he edited and co-wrote The Slippers, a documentary that traced the strange history of Dorothy's shoes. That movie has opened so many wonderful doors into the Oz community. My Life with Tara Tag. Me and my bestie. That's my memoir.
My Life with Tara.
My life with
Living in her shadow.
me and my shadow. We're both
Aw.
shadows of each other. We love each other. Just in case you didn't know. But hello, okay, we're here and we have a very special guest. Welcome all back to Down the YBP. We are joined by dear friend Derek Lajeunesse. Welcome back, Derek.
Guys, I'm
Our
so
Judy
happy to be
expert.
back.
You're our
Oh,
Judy.
That's a big thing to say.
You're our
considering
Judy
the
phone a
experts.
friend.
You are.
Right,
You were
thank you so
the
much.
one.
Yeah.
I've only devoted most of my life to her, so no big deal. Like all,
Only
you know,
most.
only
That's it.
most. Like, you know, the first couple of years, I don't know what I was doing, but I was wasting my time. being a
Derek,
toddler.
what were you
Yes.
doing?
Just, going to, kindergarten and stuff. Like, what a waste. And then I found her.
I
We're
already
here.
knew her. I already knew her when I was 5, so
Okay,
Oh,
competition.
okay.
just saying.
Yeah,
You
that's
know,
interesting.
he was busy.
Yeah,
He was busy.
I was busy.
I was busy. Well, we're here to get into the life of Judy. And of course, Lorna Luft. She is the author of Me and My Shadows. Tara's lifting up the
Yes,
book.
lifting up the book.
And
This is our entry point in. We're
Our entry
covering
point.
the Me and My Shadows of it all.
covering the Me and My Shadows as well as the film Life with Judy Garland, or it's a miniseries, is
Yeah.
technically what it is. A
Yeah.
miniseries.
Well, it's like a
I'm going to call it a film. It's over 2 hours long.
Yes.
Honey.
Yeah.
It's 3, right? It's
a
it's
two
a 3.
a two-part. It was over 2 nights.
And it
So
was like a
it
4-hour
That's an
affair
event.
with the commercials.
two
That's an
2-hour chunks.
extravaganza.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a big deal when it happened.
Yeah.
Big deal.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember.
Oh my gosh.
I remember.
Me
hmm
I
Vivid.
was 9.
I remember watching this. Are you asking us that?
No, I'm just kidding.
Right.
I
was a grown-up.
I was a grown-up, not in kindergarten.
A young grown-up, but a
A
grown-up.
young adult. Yes,
A young adult.
yes. Well, to get us in, two-parter, could you share your first memory of Judy Garland? Your first memory of Judy Garland, like something that just stands out in your mind. It could be Oz, it could be something else. Or if it's not the first, just like that moment that you were like, I'm going to devote my life to this person, to learning more about them, as well as any experience you have with Lorna Luft. If you maybe saw her perform live. I know we had her on the pod back in the day,
Just say,
Vote for Lorna.
yeah.
Vote for Lorna. Yeah,
That's the name of that episode.
any Lorna.
She was running for like town council
was.
on that episode.
She was.
Really?
She was like
Our episode, yeah, she was getting political. We were like, okay.
she had some really strong
right.
views
Yeah.
on social media.
Yes.
And like boundaries
Yes.
with it.
Yes.
So
We were like, vote
we
for
love you, Lorna.
She has convictions. I think she's a woman of convictions
passionate.
and
She's
a strong
very
personality.
passionate.
Yeah, wonderful.
Yeah.
Good. We should
Yeah.
all be
Sure.
like that. Yes.
So
Yeah.
Judy and Lorna.
Beauty memory or like core kind of reason that you decided to dive further into her life and any Lorna experiences,
Lorna
memories, Lorna lore to kick us off.
Yeah.
Derek, why don't
Derek,
you as
take it
our
away,
Dorothy,
baby.
as our Judy expert, kick us off?
Well, I of course have to go. Like my first memories of Judy are in the basement of the first house I ever lived in as a child, maybe 6 years old. It's with the TV viewing of Oz. But me sitting on this, I used to have this, my parents had this like really tacky 70s furniture that was like,
Love.
plaid that hurt your arms. It was so rough.
Wonderful.
I know. And they had a chair that moved and swiveled on wheels.
They really didn't want to be comfortable.
No,
They
no,
said
no.
we just need the fashion.
Yeah, it had to look good in the brown
Resemble the Brady.
basement.
Yeah,
Yes,
resemble the
that's
Brady.
how-
Brown and like the
Yeah.
mustard yellow.
Yeah.
It's the brown
exactly.
like wood panels. That was
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah.
The wood
Huge.
panels.
Oh,
So
yeah,
you have
love.
a visual of the room I was in. I love that.
Mhm.
It's there.
I used to watch Oz and commune with Judy. Those are my first memories, and being on this chair that swiveled. That I would, when she was spinning on the bed during the cyclone, I would move the chair. I would move the chair around as if I was spinning too, and I would try to say "oh" at the same time she said "oh, oh." I would try to do that same little.
It's
"oh."
all about the timing,
Yeah. So that's perhaps my first sort of memory of her. And then my mom subsequently went to the library and got a book about child stars, which does tie into to today's
Oh.
episode a little bit.
Yeah.
And she read to me about the Gum sisters and Judy's life before MGM and whatnot. And I
I don't
listened
know
to
when
it
I
like
learned all of that.
yeah, it was then.
Oh,
And
your
so
mom, that's amazing.
my mom. So I have a memory of her going to the library and finding this and me listening to it like it was a childhood story, like before bed.
Wow. Yeah.
So that's maybe when it's sort of all the, craziness begins. But yeah,
the
that's the
swivel
Judy
chair.
stuff. The swivel chair. And Lorna's a little different. My Lorna intro is Grease 2.
Grease too.
Grease too.
And I don't think I made any connection that was Judy Garland's
Right.
daughter when I started watching and fawning over Paulette.
Paulette,
Paulette.
who is
Iconic.
arguably an icon in that film.
she's like, she's incredible.
Be your baby tonight. It's so good. Like it is
It's
one of the
so
best
good.
things I've ever heard in
She's
my life.
passionate, as we said.
Yeah.
She also, I will talk about it ad nauseum. Everyone else is like, who's that guy? Where did they come? She's like, where did he
Where-
come from?
She
She's
said,
up the
I have a
octave.
legacy to protect.
She's like, I'm Judy Garland's daughter.
I will
Yes.
be belting.
And I'm a
I'm
pink
singing
lady.
this.
I
Yeah,
will be singing.
It's
I'm
so
singing
good.
this. Yeah.
Also, there's a lot of Grease 2 celebrations happening this year because it's
Is
an
it an
anniversary year.
What year?
Oh.
I don't
year?
know. It's got to be,
45?
I was like 50 maybe. 45?
For Grease or Grease 2?
Grease 2. It was kind of is the 80s. So 40s,
80,
45,
82,
probably 45.
82,
That's
I think. Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
It's got to be
Yeah.
45. That's got to be right.
Yeah.
Because Grease was like 78, 79.
Yep. 78.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think
78.
I realized they were so close to each other. Yeah, 82.
Yep. So this is 25,
Yeah.
45. Sorry.
45.
Yeah.
Next year.
It's
Yeah. It's crazy.
wild.
One of the best films ever.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
so
think it's one of
I-
the best, campiest films.
It is.
so campy.
I might have known who she was before. I think going into it, I might have just because of my Judy knowledge, or my mom might have said that's Judy Garland's daughter as well as Liza Minnelli, and so I was like, oh. But then when she sings, and
Same.
stuff, she doesn't look like Judy at all. I don't find. I don't see any visuals. Like
I
Liza, I
agree.
can see visuals.
She says that in her book. She's like, I look like my dad.
Yeah, totally.
Especially
But
compared
but
to
you,
Liza.
you can
Not to
Liza.
hear.
compare them,
Not to compare them. We don't want to do that
Right.
ever.
but
No.
I see more of a resemblance.
But also Vincent and Judy also share very similar features. So it makes
Darker
Big
sense
features.
that
eyes.
Liza,
Yeah.
yeah, they have like the
Yeah.
same deep dark eyes.
Sure.
Because
Yep.
Lorna has like blue eyes.
Lighter eyes and
Yeah.
like lighter hair for sure.
Yeah. Just a different look. I saw Lorna
Yeah.
also in performance at Carnegie Hall. Have you heard of it? At the 2011 in 2011 they did a 50th anniversary of the Carnegie Hall performance of Judy's.
Oh, the
And they
best.
restaged it and they had Broadway stars of the moment recreating the songs, and Lorna came on and sang a few tunes.
That's so
He,
cool.
I think sounds a lot like her sometimes.
It was the
Right?
most, like
Like
it
spot
felt
on.
the most like Judy was in the room. Because I think she did
That's so
Come Rain or Come
special.
Shine. I think she did that one, Come Rain or Come Shine, which
Wow.
is such a big,
Come
loud
rain or
song.
Come shine.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
love that song.
So I've seen Lorna perform, I guess, once, and it was in the top venue in maybe the world. So that was
Yeah.
that was really good. It was really
That's
cool.
incredible.
Yeah, so that's
Oh,
Lorna stuff. Yeah.
I love that. I think my Lorna is similar. I watched Grease. I was like, Grease is a formative part of my life. So then when
Yeah,
my
me too.
grandma was like, oh, we got to rent Grease 2 home video.
Mm,
Do y'all know what that is? Home video?
Yeah, children.
Listeners,
Yes.
listeners.
They're our
No.
age.
yeah. Or older.
No, it's funny. Our friend Connor,
They're our age.
who stages for his birthday every year.
Oh,
Yes, he does a reading of Wicked, and he usually is
Oh.
either Alphaba or Glinda. Very committed.
Love.
that's his birthday.
And he was like,
Tradition.
one year you and Em have to be Shun Shun and Fanny, and I was like, I think we're aging into our Dillamond and Morrible package.
We're aging out.
I think
Sorry,
that's our
guys.
package.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
I think we're Dillamond and Morrible now.
Fine
Right,
with that.
right.
Are you
Yeah,
Marvel and
take
I'm
it.
Dylan?
I think we could pass the baton on it. I think it could be fun.
I'm ready. Whoever wants to be
Yeah.
Fanny and Chen
I think we
Chen.
could do, either. I was like, I think we have to let go of Fanny and
We have-
Chen. Anyways,
That just took a
Sorry.
turn. Wow.
I know, I
Feeling
pitched us for
things.
Dillamond.
Okay. We like Dillamond. So
Miss
yeah,
Dillamond.
Grease 2, I was not a fan of when I first watched it. And I even like recently, Tiffany, Follow the Yellow Brick Girl.
Yeah, she was not happy about that.
Was because she's
No.
very passionate about that film. And I just was like, I get it. I get the campiness. You know, I love a camp. I am the first
But what do you
attendee.
think about it now?
I think it's fun, but I
Yeah.
don't think it's the best, I don't think it's
It's
the
like a
best.
separate thing to me. If I need to take
It's
them
not
away from
trying
each
to be
other.
the best.
Yeah,
I know,
it's
like you're
definitely
putting
not.
pressure on it.
It's definitely not.
I was like,
I
leave
guess
her alone.
I don't have, it's hard.
It's like you want her to be valedictorian. I was like, girls getting C's, okay?
Yeah.
And she's fine with it.
But it's hard if I'm
In
gonna
a
watch,
reproduction.
if I'm in the mood for Grease, I'm just gonna watch Grease. I'm not gonna watch Grease.
Oh my God, see, like, I'd rather put on Grease too.
See, no.
I just think it's so much more bizarre.
It depends what
Very
you want. Yeah,
bizarre.
if you want
Yeah.
a kooky experience,
It
and you want
depends
to
your
be
vibe.
all over the place, Grease 2. If you want like
Yes.
solid classic, Grease.
Solid classic.
Yeah, like
Sorry,
it's just-
I'm a purist.
It's just
Yeah.
Aaron. We're like the Oz book fans.
It's like,
Yeah,
how
yeah, yeah.
dare you?
Is classic.
Putting way too much pressure on her.
That's like, leave her alone. She's a C
She's
student.
fine. She's fine. So I was very confused. I remember kind of what you're saying, like, when you find out, oh, these two people are related, and this will
Yeah.
come
I
up, I'm
think
sure.
this is how I found out.
Yeah.
Is
Oh.
through this miniseries.
Oh, that's kind of cool. Okay. I just remember as a kid being very confused. Like, I just watched the Michael Jackson new movie, and even as a kid, I was like, Janet and Michael are related. Like, I don't know why
Right.
I couldn't put this together in my head.
Right.
You have your
It's
own
hard.
life too. It's like when
Yeah.
you watch like it is crazy that we know so much about certain people's lives just because
Right.
the world is telling us to care about
It's
these
just
people,
culture.
right?
Yeah.
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 Right. So I think, and I obviously knew like Liza, I don't know. I just feel like I knew that. And then Lorna, I remember you didn't you go to Fifth Floor
Yes.
Below and
It
you
was
saw
before
her?
the pandemic. I went
And-
on my birthday and saw Lorna in a concert. My friend Kristen Pope was the White Christmas dance captain. So they had toured together and
Oh.
everyone's obsessed with my friend Kristen Pope because she's one of the nicest, kindest people ever. And she is so good, especially with like elder actors, taking care of them, making sure they know everything they need to
Feel
know.
comfortable.
She's an incredible person. She's the dance captain of my wedding. She's incredible. So for my birthday that year, it was 2019, I think, she brought me with her to see Lorna. We hung out in her dressing room, and I remember just being like so floored. This is like where I am right
Yeah, I
now.
remember that story and being
Yeah,
like,
it's amazing.
Yeah, I just hung out in her 54
You're
below
with like a
dressing room
legend.
with like white
Yeah.
Christmas
Yeah.
flowers. Yeah, she was so kind and lovely and hilarious.
That's good to hear.
She loved my friend Kristen. That was like my biggest takeaway of like Kristen is so loved by Lorna.
Kristen and Lorna,
It's
when
lovely.
that was,
We had her on the pod in 2022.
still
for Judy's
honored that we
100th.
even got to talk to her.
I know, we were very nervous.
She spent the time.
Oh,
and I
yeah,
remember being
that-
like, okay,
I know.
no sounds need to like ruin this recording.
Yeah.
She was
It just
lovely.
feels,
She
it has
was
more
so great.
gravitas. Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
it was really special. So I'm glad we got to meet her. But yeah, any other Judy Lorna memories?
So, yeah, Judy for me was, I think like the earliest memories are always the MGM record, taking that out from the library and listening to it at nauseum, of course, The Wizard of Oz. And like honestly, the Great Movie Ride I was so obsessed with.
Right.
So jealous.
And yeah, like I was obsessed with that ride. And my parents would always like, I think we had a Disneyland book. So I would stare at or not Disneyland, Disney World book. And I would stare at the photos of it after the fact and just stare at the Judy mannequins. Like I was obsessed with the whole Wizard of Oz portion of that ride. If you don't know what I'm talking about, this was a ride that used to exist at when it was called MGM Studios, now Hollywood. Studios. It used to exist there in the Grauman Chinese Theater, and it was the best. There's a whole Wizard of Oz portion.
The slippers were there at one point.
The slippers were
Yes,
there.
they
Slippers
were.
that
Bauman's.
will never be
Roberta's.
seen again. Yeah,
Yep.
Roberta Bauman's pair,
Anthony
Landini's
Landini's
pair. They
Yeah.
were there.
Ugh.
Considered Dorothy slippers. They were there on the queue for some time. Not the whole time that the ride was open.
But you saw them.
I saw them as a kid. I'm like
Amazing.
trying so hard to find a picture.
You're gonna find it. It's gonna happen.
I don't know if we ever took one.
It's like tucked away.
But I definitely remember holding up the line because I was staring at the shoes.
Yeah, tough
Like,
luck.
My mom was
Yeah,
like,
sorry.
my mom let people pass.
Yeah.
So I
I
could
would.
stay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I could stay and stare at the shoes. And I remember it being right by the carousel horse from Mary Poppins. It was like right by
Oh,
that. So
wonderful
fun. So those are
too.
like, she's very much Dorothy. Like she was Dorothy.
Yes.
I was trying to think of like when, I remember like
When
that
you, like,
crazy ad
realize
that
she's-
used Meet Me in St. Louis,
Yeah.
Judy, for Wizard of Oz. Like I remember being like, why does she look like that? But it
Oh,
was
like the
for
print
Wizard of
ad?
Oz. Yeah, that was her in
For the
Meet Me in St.
reissue.
Louis. But it was used for Wizard of Oz promotion.
Confusing.
And I'm pretty sure we watched Meet Me in St. Louis a lot. Like that was a movie on rotation. My Nana and my Aunt Emma were just obsessed with the old movies, and that they raised me essentially. They were like my weekends, my after school. So Shirley was bigger than Judy for sure. Like as a person, like Judy was Dorothy, Shirley was Shirley. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I could see that Shirley was doing all these movies, but Judy did not become an actor
her like
to me
seminal
until I
thing.
got older.
No, that's same for me. Was
Yeah.
like she is Dorothy. That's all I care about. I don't need to even learn about anything else. That will sustain me.
Do you feel like you
Yes.
heard like the stories, like people being like, oh, she had all these drug issues? Like that was early on.
Yeah,
Like I remember.
I
hearing
feel
that
like
stuff
she,
early on.
her, when you're so legendary and you have, you live long enough, like you're gonna have stories that then people just throw out there.
Yeah.
Same thing with Michael Jackson. Just stuff
Yeah.
that gets thrown out no matter what. And so then you grow up with these ideas and it takes you like, oh yeah, they were a real person. Like it's complex.
And that's why Lorna wrote this book, was because she was tired of reading like other people
that makes sense.
who weren't
Yes.
there
I'm so
telling
glad she wrote it.
the story of her mother, and also like Lorna being a side character in most of these
She's
stories
in
too.
the
She
story
wanted
herself.
to tell it from her family's perspective, which I give her a lot of credit for. So this is my
Yeah.
number one text for Judy for sure.
Yeah.
I know there's so much. Derek, maybe you could comment on this, like within the Judy community, because there is a Judy community that is adjacent.
There is.
There's totally
Oh, yeah.
the Judy community. But
Yep.
when it comes to like the resources in books, there are some that people are like, no, this is like absolute sensationalism about Judy.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about this more as we get into it. Like Judy embellished a lot herself. So sometimes it really
It's hard
is
to know the
hard to know if any of this
Yeah.
is really truth, if it's not just like a little bit fiction. Like
Yeah.
she's a mythical character in many ways.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like the Judy trusted sources,
Resources.
what you say are the top ones.
Well, it's interesting you say this. They have I'm sure you guys are familiar with the Garland Gab, like Connor and Sarah,
Yes.
Yes, we
and
love
yes,
them.
yeah,
Obviously, we collaborated with them a ton
Yeah.
during
yeah,
Judy Garland's
100th.
100th. Yeah.
yeah, and Carly's the other. They're really, really good, and they have a whole
They're great.
episode on Judy books if anyone's interested in that. And they go
Oh,
over
we'll link
the
it.
good,
Linking it.
the good, the bad, and the ugly. They did it a couple of years ago, maybe, but it's like the good, the bad, and the
I think I
ugly of the
listened.
yeah, of the
Yes.
bios.
Nice.
But for me personally, I find all of the ones like all the biographies, like there's one by like Anne Edwards from the 70s. A lot of them came up in the 70s. Christopher Finch
Like
wrote
after
one
she
called
passed, yeah.
yeah, like in the 5-10 years after her death, there's a lot of like capitalizing on her as a tragic figure. And there's one called Rainbow that I remember liking as a kid, and that was adapted into a movie with Andrea McArdle, Annie, another TV movie, which we can talk
Yes.
about a little today too. But I think
And
the
Rue
best.
McClanahan.
We love Rue.
Yeah,
Isn't
yes,
she in
yes,
that too?
she plays Ida Coverman. She is.
Rue.
I was like, wait.
coming
If there's
back
an
to me.
Oz adjacent TV movie, Rue is in it.
Rue's there. That's
Dreamer of
her,
Oz.
her calling.
Yeah,
You know what's also
Rainbow.
funny? I was
Love
like,
Rue.
if there is a TV miniseries or movie musical from the like mid 90s to early 2000s, Victor Garber is
He's in it.
Victor
Right.
Garber is in it.
Right.
It's
Fr-
so
from
wild.
the town I,
Thanos.
yeah,
Not a
Sid
big
left.
and he's
Oh
from
my
the
God,
town I live
so
in.
heartbreaking and Titanic.
He's
Yeah.
from your town.
He's from
Yeah.
London. He's from London, Ontario.
Stop it.
I know. I don't
That's
know
why I
him,
like
but
him.
yeah, there we
Legally
go.
Blonde, Titanic.
He's iconic.
He's been in
Yeah,
everything.
he's
I also
Great,
think he
great.
can normally walk around outside. You
Yeah,
know what I
good.
mean?
Probably.
Oh, cool. There he is.
Probably.
His whole life. That's
Oh.
brilliant.
What a star.
Anyways, yes, back to the movies.
Back
the
to
books,
this.
The books.
But what I would say is that the best Judy resources, even biographical stuff, is probably the John Fricke books.
Okay.
Like, like his books about her career and stuff. He doesn't get
Yeah.
salacious about it. He just talks about her
Gives us the
milestones and
facts.
some of the personal life stuff, but he tends to treat her quite respectfully. So if you're looking for like objective, respectful, but with love,
Yeah.
John
Yeah,
John
yeah.
Fricke's books, The World's Greatest Entertainer, and the book about the movies, and the Portrait of Art and Anecdote he also wrote. Those are great. But as far as the bios go, you're going to get a mix of stuff. You're going to get the
I want to read the
salacious
one
stuff.
by the lover, the young lover, who recently passed away.
young
We saw
Oh,
him.
I was going to
We
say the
saw
guy we
him,
saw.
Derek.
We did when we saw Debbie Wildman. He came up on stage. What was his name?
Oh my gosh, bless. He recently passed away.
He
Oh, wow.
did. He was a sweet guy.
Wait,
he
like
he like
her,
he-
her
he dated her
partner
in the
from
60s.
end?
No, he like dated her, younger
Yeah.
guy who dated her
Is this when she, like they were dating when she passed away?
right before
Right
he
before.
went to Mickey Dean's.
Oh,
thing.
okay.
Yeah, like late
So
60s.
before.
Late. Yes. So
Yeah.
before Mickey Dean's, he was younger.
Okay.
His book,
Yeah.
I think, is called Heartbreaker. The book is
Oh,
in my
right.
head.
I've never read
I
it.
think
I don't know it.
Heartbreaker.
I'm
or
so
something
intrigued.
Heartbreak. But he wrote a song that Judy would sing, and Debbie Wildman, as this amazing Judy impersonator slash channeler of Judy's
Right.
velvet sound, she sang it that
John
night.
Mayer,
Right.
I
Yeah.
think that's right.
Heartbreaker, 2 months with
That's
Judy
it.
Garland.
Yeah, 2 months with Judy
Yeah.
Garland. That's it.
That's it.
Wow. Okay.
And we got to
Yeah,
see him in
I
real
wanna
life,
read
which was
that.
really cool.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
He
was
was up
cool.
on stage with her. He was very old.
Okay.
It was
Yeah.
really sweet.
Wild.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
But also, he was like, what, 20 years younger than her at the time?
Well, she would have been in her late 40s then. So
think
yeah,
he
he
was
was
in his
probably in
20s.
his, yeah.
Judy like had age
Scandal.
gaps.
Okay.
She's
She
age
did.
gaps.
Yeah,
for
like
older.
she was young.
Yeah.
They were older.
Yeah, Mickey
obviously.
Deans was
Always.
younger than her at the end.
Yes. Yeah, her first husbands are all older,
Right?
and then
she
it
flopped.
switches.
And then
She
he's like,
becomes
you know what?
king.
And it
I will now
flip-flops,
be
yeah.
a cougar.
Exactly, because her last two,
Yeah.
she's kind of cougary. Yeah,
Yeah. I knew
Yeah.
the last boyfriend was younger. So, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know.
Well,
That's
thank
it.
you
I think
our
he
expert.
married Mickey Deans.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
3
I don't
month.
think I haven't
For
gotten
3
it yet in
months,
Lorna's
okay.
book.
Well, then
I
she
did
died.
read, just for everyone to know, I read this book, I think, in 2021.
Oh,
2020. Like I read it a long time
Pandemic
ago. So I had
Yeah.
already annotated it, which was
That's
great
good. Some
to come
Oh.
back to, but now I'm rereading it for
her own research.
the purposes of this episode.
Yeah.
yes.
And we are doing basically for this episode, we're going to have 3 episodes. This is
Yes.
a 3-part episode with different various guests.
Oh.
So Derek is joining us for this first one, and we're doing basically like the first 50-ish minutes
We're
of
doing
the
the Tammy Blanchard
miniseries.
years.
Yeah, the Tammy Blanchard
Yes.
years before Judy Davis.
film.
So that's what we're
And
getting
I'm
into.
I go a little bit further in the book just because the book is different. Let me just say this
Yeah.
right now. The book is
Right.
It's not a
Lorna
one-to-one.
more than it's her mother. So like Judy's life at the beginning is just like the first 4 chapters of this book. And then it gets more, Lorna's story is going to be a huge part of this. So
Yeah.
the movie doesn't really tackle Lorna's story, though she becomes a huge character when she's born as a little girl, coping with all the different the pills with Judy and all of that. So that'll come
Yeah.
later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. Well, let's dive into it. So, a little bit about this mini-series, Life with Judy Garland, Me and My Shadows, 2001. It is a 2-part biographical television miniseries based on the 1998 book, Me and My Shadows, a family memoir written by Lorna Luft, a memoir directed by Robert Allen Ackerman. And it was originally, as Derek said, broadcast in 2 parts on ABC, February 25th and 26th. It was
I watched
filmed
it live.
You've watched it
Me
live?
too.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah, I like went to my Nana's house.
You guys are so cool.
Popped the corn, you know?
Yeah.
Pop that corn, baby.
I was so obsessed with this. Like when
Oh,
they showed
thanks.
Tammy Blanchard in that commercial as Dorothy,
I
was like,
know.
I'm sold.
I'm in.
I'm sold.
I
In.
miss so many things. It was filmed primarily in Toronto, Ontario, Canada.
I've heard of it.
Derek is
Yep.
Canadian,
You're so proud.
Yep.
You're so proud of me.
I
It
lived
feels
there
right
when
that
it was
you're here.
filmed. Yeah, I lived there at the time.
You were
I
an
know.
extra. You were in it.
Can you imagine if
Well-
you were in it?
Well, here's the thing. I'd heard about it afterwards that they were trying to fill people for one of the concert scenes, and I heard about it too late, and it already happened at the filmed in the summer or something like that. But I was like, oh God, to be in a room with Judy Davis singing in one of the theaters in Toronto, pretending it was like the Palace or something, but didn't
That'd be
happen.
so
Wasn't an
cool.
extra. Didn't happen.
It's okay.
I know.
In our minds,
okay.
it did.
It's fine.
Everything's
I
fine.
love that Sid Luft, this comes up in the book. He actually met Judy as an extra before they met
Yes.
again. He met her as an
Oh.
extra on a film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Interesting.
He was all over the place in his
Yeah.
career ventures.
Yes.
Hollywood
yes.
was a part of his, like, he came there to like produce, and he
Mhm.
comes from money. He comes from some substantial wealth from New York City. So yeah, he was, but I'm like, you were in a film? So funny.
Right.
Sid Luft.
Wild. All right.
Yeah.
Well, there were additional scenes that were shot at the Parkwood Estate in Oshawa, Ontario. So that sounds very fancy. And
It's
Lorna,
not.
Okay, it's not. It's not.
I'm sure the estate is fancy, but it's an industrial
estate is?
town. It's an industrial city just north of Toronto where there's like
Okay,
a car
great.
plant, like, but I'm sure there's nice historic
Phew,
buildings.
the luxury of the car plant.
Yeah, I don't want to dispel any
Right.
fantasies of beauty, but I'm sure.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, we're not trying to up the tourism there.
No, we're all good.
Lorna Luft is one of our executive producers, which is important to note. And the music, it's actually Judy's recordings. It's her singing.
What do we think about this?
Oh,
I'm
I
not
think
against it.
I think it
No,
worked.
I think it's fine.
I think it's
Like, what do you-
essential.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking of like Renee Zellweger too with the
Yeah.
Judy movie singing for herself, because those are her vocals.
Right.
Yes, sweetened up, I think, but yeah.
Yes.
I think
it's
really works, especially for
really-
someone
Uh-huh.
like Judy.
It's
Yeah,
really
it's
hard
tricky
to sound
sometimes
like
with her recordings because they had to do tricks to make it sound like her old recordings. Like when she's singing in the audition at MGM, they're like, Mother heard a whole orchestra behind her vocal because they didn't have a clean version of Judy singing Zing with the Strings of My Heart.
Oh, so they had
So
to
they had
say,
to do it. They had to say, Mama heard a whole orchestra. No, she didn't.
here it is.
But they had to do it to make the
You can't
audio
isolate
work.
her. Yeah.
They couldn't
It
isolate her.
works.
They could do it now probably with technology, but back then in 2000 they probably couldn't. But I think
Yeah.
when someone has an iconic singing voice, let
This
that
actually happened again. I just saw this movie, so I'm going to keep referencing it. But the Michael Jackson movie,
No, it's very similar to this though.
it's his nephew. It's played
and
by
it's family
Right.
run.
played by his nephew Jafar
Yeah.
Jackson, who's amazing.
right.
And it's kind of a mixture. Like there's somewhere he's like, it's both of our vocals together, and he really does sound like him. But then there's certain moments where they're like, we're just going to do purely Michael Jackson's recording. And I
Yeah.
agree. If it's an icon, I mean, if it's like a very distinct, and that's a huge part of who this person was. And even in the
Yeah.
film, she's like, my voice is who I am. That's kind of part of her
Uh-huh.
like her character arc. So
Right.
Also, I think why we haven't seen Chasing Rainbows really land on Broadway with
sure.
it's about
Right.
Judy's younger life.
yeah.
I think it's just really hard to capture young Judy over older Judy. I do think older
Absolutely.
Judy's a little bit more accessible.
Yes,
Mhm.
because she's easier to parody.
Sure.
And like, I mean, I know the Judy film with Renee is like fraught in the community. Like some people love it, some people hate it.
Right.
I definitely didn't hate it.
I really liked
No,
it.
I didn't hate it either. I feel
I
mixed
know
about
it's
it.
not accurate. Like I know that is
You kind of have to go
I
in
think-
with an open mind. So
I think the worst parts of it, the very worst parts of it, are the MGM flashbacks.
those
They're
are terrible.
ridiculous.
they're bad.
Yeah,
Especially when
They
you
are
compare it to how
ridiculous.
it's done in this movie.
with this, yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. The younger
This one
stuff felt
should be
weird.
more well known. You know, like
I
Yeah.
think it is still very loved, but it is.
Yeah.
We don't get TV movies.
but I feel like
this
more
anymore.
people
No.
would know about the Renee Zellweger version.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
But then we also have what the Renee Zellweger version is based off of is End of the Rainbow, which is an incredible
Yeah.
play that's actually going to be on the West End with Jinx Monsoon.
Oh,
Jinx
I know. Is that
Monsoon?
exciting? It's
I
so
need-
exciting. Jinx would be, she's going to do such a
wow,
great
It's gonna
job.
be amazing.
Amazing.
She actually like I was watching an interview of Judy Davis and I was like, this isn't Jinx Monsoon.
Right.
Like Judy,
right.
like Jinx Monsoon is Judy Davis. Also.
Right.
Jinx
And they're-
Monsoon.
Judy Davis is pretty excellent just to watch in an interview about
Just
Judy.
to watch.
'Cause she's just like, yeah,
She's
it's
very
nothing. Like,
intense.
she's very much of an
Australian.
Australian, but like also mid-Atlantic.
Yeah, Mid-Atlantic
Yeah.
Australian.
Like
Yeah.
you are of a different time,
Yeah.
Miss Judy Davis.
Yeah, for sure.
If I met her, I'd be like intimidated in a good way.
She
you
feels
know?
Oh,
like a
yeah.
drag queen to me.
She is a drag queen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like she has a little bit of that energy. I'm like, I love you.
And I think Jinx Monsoon, this is just, she's doing what she's meant to do
Yeah.
on this earth.
Agree.
Like, so
Yeah.
happy for her.
She
Yes.
planted Judy's seeds on Drag Race a few times. And
planted
she did her
them.
in Snatch
Now she's
Game.
in a garden. Now she's
And
in a
now
garden.
she's in the garden.
field.
Yes.
It must be so
Ah.
exciting for her. She must be
Yeah,
so
the
excited.
Garden
I'm
of
just so
Eden.
happy for her. Yeah.
Garden of Jinx.
Yeah.
Well, this miniseries, it was nominated for a Primetime Emmy for Outstanding Miniseries. Judy Davis did win Outstanding Lead Actress in a miniseries or a movie for the Primetime Emmy. Victor Garber was nominated. Tammy Blanchard won for Supporting Actress. Pretty much so many people were nominated. Director, writing, art direction, casting, cinematography, costumes won Donna Granada.
She's also on that commentary.
She's on the
track.
commentary track.
I
There
didn't
is
know
I'll link the YouTube commentary track as well.
It's Robert Ackerman, the director, her, and Lorna.
Lorna.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It's
Yeah,
really
we
great.
started listening to that. Yeah,
It's
really
good. And hairstyling for Marie and Ripka.
Honestly, yeah, you should have won.
Yeah,
hair was
outstanding,
great.
outstanding makeup, non-prosthetic. And then Golden Globes as well. They were nominated for a Best Miniseries Golden Globe. They won. Judy won. Judy Garland. Judy Davis
It's
won.
amazing though. Like
Judy Garland,
as
Judy Davis.
is so
Yeah.
good.
Judy Davis won for Best Actress in a Miniseries, and Tammy was nominated. So that's
There
pretty
must be-
iconic.
Yeah, there must be some sort of record that Judy Garland holds as most people playing her winning awards.
Right?
Like
It's
Judy Davis won
true.
2, Tammy Blanchard won, Renee won an
Renee's-
Emmy. I mean, an Oscar for playing her.
Renee won an Oscar.
She won an
like, so-
Oscar. Wow.
Yeah, so it's like
Jinx
that's like-
Monsoon is gonna win an Olivier.
Olivier.
Oh my God, there we go. Even
She
more.
should.
Also,
Yeah.
wait. Oh, she didn't win though. I was gonna say the woman who originated it. That was a huge,
Tracy
crazy- Yes.
Bennett. Yeah.
Tracy Bennett.
That was a really competitive year.
Yeah.
She had won everything else except for the
Except for
Tony.
Tony.
It was the girl who I saw from another play that was so good that I can't remember at this time. Because this is a while ago. This is like 2012.
2012.
Oh yeah, at least.
It's a
yeah.
long time ago. 2012,
Interesting.
13. It's a
Okay.
long time ago. But the woman who won Nina something was in a play that was also incredible. It just was a
It was-
really
it was a
competitive
hard
year.
year.
Yeah.
Right.
Got you. Any extra songs are composed by William Ross. Craig Zaden is another one of our producers, and he has produced films such as Footloose, Chicago Hairspray, which is pretty cool. So that's just a
Yeah.
little bit about kind of like awards. I honestly next time want to get more into the costuming in Donna Granada, because she in the commentary is like, we painstakingly recreated these costumes and had a whole team that were like hand sewing, hand beating.
Yep. It's
Um,
amazing.
yeah,
It
it's well
looks
done.
great. Yeah.
And they reference there's so many costumes and pictures that, like, there's so many pictures that exist of Judy from all ages. And then all of a sudden in this, you'll see her wearing something in a picture, like I'm like, oh, that's from this picture. And like,
Yeah,
I
that's
think
wild.
nothing's a mistake. Even the costumes that the little girls wear at the beginning of when they're in Minnesota still and they're at the theater, like those costumes are. I've seen the Garland sisters in those costumes in other pictures.
That's wild.
So it's just amazing the research they did and the
Nothing is
recreation.
lazy.
She said she had
No,
about 2,000 photos that she like really referenced and went through
right?
to reference. Incredible.
Yeah, she's amazing.
For our casting, I'm kind of focusing in on who is in this first chunk. So
Judy Davis, sit down.
later on, Judy will talk
Yeah,
about you.
sit down,
Don't
relax.
worry.
We'll
Yeah.
get there.
Yeah.
You're newly 71.
Yeah,
Happy
you're
birthday.
fine.
Happy birthday.
Let's talk about Tammy Blanchard. She got her start on Guiding Light. Her first scene apparently was with one Taye Diggs.
Hilarious.
Oh,
LOL.
handsome.
But since then, she's been nominated for 2 Tonys, one for her role as Louise in the 2003 Broadway revival of Gypsy. That was with Bernadette.
With Bernadette Peters.
Bernadette
Yeah.
Peters.
Wow.
The other nom was...
Just a side note, we don't have to keep this on the episode. Lynn, who works here, covered Tammy Blanchard.
One of my coworkers covered her.
Yeah.
That's crazy. We should
Lynn
talk
covered
to her.
Tammy.
We should talk to her.
My friend Lynn, who I did shows with, I was actually Lynn's cover in A Million Things. I covered her when she was Tanya in Mamma Mia. She now works at EmKay's guitar school, and she was Tammy's cover.
What?
I'm pretty sure she was.
Lynn, get on the pod. You're being summoned.
That's good to know.
Details.
I might email her later. Be like, hey,
were you Tammy's cover? Tara told me you were in that Gypsy. Just say that.
Tell me everything.
I will.
Yeah.
I will. Oh, I will. All the time I'll be like, Tara told me this, or like this other friend that you worked with that I know told me this.
She did Spam a lot and Gypsy.
She did Spam a lot, yeah. Her other nom, Tammy Blanchard's other nom, was for Hetty LaRue in the 2011 Broadway revival.
So dumb in that revival.
How to Succeed.
How to Succeed.
She was like this.
She was so good.
She's like a little like drunk off.
I saw her in that. Oh my god, so fun.
She was so ridiculous.
I also saw her in The Iceman Cometh on Broadway in 2018.
Saw The Iceman Cometh.
I have seen these random plays that every now and then you're like,
I saw that.
You're like, we've lived here long enough.
I know, we've been here.
Yeah, you're gonna see everything.
When theater was affordable.
When theater back in the day, now
pre-pandemic, honestly.
She also played Audrey in the Off-Broadway revival.
She originated this new
West Side.
Yeah.
That's crazy. 2019.
Her Audrey is very different. Like she totally made Audrey her own. Because I definitely looked when I was playing
when
her.
you played her.
I looked at Tammy. Because I was like, she's not doing anything that is in the Ellen Green vocabulary.
That's cool.
I think it's a good idea for someone to do it, like to do a totally different take on something so iconic. Like Ellen Green is like, so taking something new is probably a good idea. However, when I see that part and there isn't Ellen Green, I'm a little bit like, where is she? Just a little.
It's very iconic.
Yeah,
it
is tricky. You did it, Tara. You know.
I actually, like I definitely feel like there was an Ellen Green base in me, but I also feel like I identify, like that's not hard for me.
That's honestly authentic for you.
My base was my friend Lily Tobin. If I'm really gonna,
Lily Tobin gives Ellen Green.
My friend Lily Tobin is like a modern day Ellen Green, like naturally. She's not trying.
So she talks up here. She's very sweet. That's
you
her
met
voice.
Lily. Derek, you were at her apartment.
Oh, I did. Of course I did. Yes. Lovely person.
You were at her.
Yes. Isn't that hilarious? It's like, wait a second.
From Canada to Lily's apartment.
She's very sweet. She's up here.
Yeah, lovely. Absolutely lovely.
Yeah, so she like really motivated it. But I watched Tammy's stuff and I was like, this is so different. But I could also see like people being really hard on this Audrey because it's not what you
might expect.
She took things, I think, down to like, and everyone is so obsessed with Suddenly Seymour being what it is. Sure. But I think she just, I don't know, you felt the damage of her Audrey like really hard.
Well, that's
She
the
can
core
act.
of the character,
That's the
yeah.
thing. Tammy Blanchard
She's an
can act.
Actress.
actor. She
Capital
is
A.
Judy in this. There
Yes.
were moments that I literally got
Oh,
chills, being
She's
like,
so perfect in
I
that.
she's
forgot I
stunning.
was, yeah.
She's stunning.
I think for both of them, Victor Garber says that later with Judy Davis. He's like, I truly
Yeah.
forgot. I thought it was
Yeah, he
Judy
got
Garland.
chills. He was like, I didn't
Yeah.
know where I was.
Right.
I was like,
Surreal.
that's crazy.
Surreal.
It's scary, but it's really,
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah. They
This is the
channeled.
best. This is the best casting of a TV of a biopic I've ever seen.
It's so
There's
good.
nothing better.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I agree.
Especially for a made for television one, these can be really tropey.
They
That's
can
why it
be.
doesn't even feel like to me, it feels like I would go to the movie theater and see this.
I don't know,
Yeah,
it just
there
feels
are.
like 2000 and I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a few notes, but
Okay.
I have a few too. There's a couple things
we'll
I'm like,
we'll get into that. But
We'll
I
get
feel
into
like
those.
I feel
Yeah.
like it could have gone into tropes much more. I think it dabbles in it
Sure.
a little bit, but I think that you need that sometimes. Like how
Sometimes it
else?
works.
Because you have to
Yeah.
appeal to a wide, massive crowd that doesn't know anything about her life outside of Dorothy. So
100%.
you have to sort of stick to the highlights, and some of that stuff it can feel tropey, but
Yeah.
I think it can satisfy both the fans and new viewers too.
it's
So,
better than Child Star about Shirley Temple. I'll say
Okay.
that. It's a
oh,
better
okay.
film.
All
Did
right.
you ever see that one?
Mm-mm.
I don't think so.
It was around the same time.
This
It was around the
actually
same
was
time.
a question I was going to ask, like other biopics or like miniseries from this time or even
Child Star.
beyond that
Ooh.
kind of like
The Shirley Temple
stick
one.
out to you.
And they really play up her not getting Dorothy. That is a huge
That's a big
moment.
part in it.
Yes.
Right. I wonder how
Carl just
Shirley
did not look
felt.
like her, and I had a hard time with that. She
Oh,
just didn't
see,
look like
looks
her.
matter in these
I
things in the
know.
They
sense of
really do.
they have to evoke the person. Sometimes Tammy
Yeah.
Blanchard looks scarily like her.
When
She's
Like,
she
channeling her.
becomes Dorothy and is in those test shots, I
mhm.
It's insane.
I truly forgot. Like I just thought I was watching footage.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
it's
our director said when they were screening it, like the audience would applaud at that time because they were like,
mm,
"It's her!" Oh,
right.
really
Kind of
cool.
creepy and amazing. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
surreal.
Yeah. That's definitely lightning in a bottle. You don't always
yeah,
get that, I feel like.
no,
Right, right.
That's a biopic that stands out as a Shirley Temple. And I can't really think of like made for TV biopics.
I've just seen a lot
Uh,
of the newer ones, like all the musicians, Elton John,
Bob
Walk the
Dylan.
oh right,
Line,
oh right,
Bob
It's always like
Marley's.
the award nominated pictures.
I know. Walk the Line
yeah,
was like blew up.
I've never
Joaquin
heard that.
Phoenix, Reese Witherspoon.
Yeah.
I think
oh
she sang in
yeah,
it too. I think they both did their own singing.
yeah.
Um,
She won an Oscar.
she won an Oscar.
Yeah, you win Oscars for
Yeah.
You
biopics.
do. Jamie Foxx the year before did Ray,
Jamie
but Ray Charles, he won an
Foxx.
Oscar too for that.
Wow.
There's the recent one that Kate Hudson was
Oh yeah.
nominated for. I mean, that's about
Neil
see, I
Diamond
even-
imperson
Neil
the
Diamond
Neil Diamond.
impersonator.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well, a
impersonator.
Yeah.
tribute band. Yeah, I didn't see
Yeah,
it,
yeah,
but
or a
yeah,
tribute band. Yeah.
yeah,
She got nominated for playing his wife. I forget the character's name, but yeah, I mean, if you're gonna dive into these people's lives, you're doing a lot of research.
yeah,
Probably the families might be involved. Like in this instance, Lorna's involved. Like
yeah.
that's usually happening. So
Sid was still alive
Yeah.
during this too. So.
He
Yeah.
was, yeah, he was
Yeah.
still alive. It's
So.
interesting when you guys get to the later parts that I'll have to listen. I'm curious how you'll approach how Lorna deals with some of the sensitive stuff around Vincent and how I don't know. I wonder how if Liza ever reacted to some of that stuff.
We'll get into it.
Yeah, I'm curious. Just as a little looking forward.
Yes.
Looking
Also,
forward.
I remember this. I think I'm not mistaken because I haven't gotten here again. I don't think at the time of the writing of this book in 1998, when this book came out, that Lorna and Liza were on speaking terms.
I know it's been up and
Wow.
They
down.
were.
Really?
It's
I think
yeah,
she acknowledges that in the book at the end.
right.
At the beginning, I really love that she says, one last thing, this is my story. It's not my brother's or my sister's or my father's, though I've drawn on their experience in writing it. Joe and Liza and Dad each have their own stories to tell. We all do. I wouldn't presume to tell it for them. So she's making it very clear, like they might have different memories. than
Yeah.
me,
Right.
But this is what I
Yeah.
remember. Yeah.
Of
100%.
course.
Yeah.
I love that. Okay,
Yeah.
great. Well, picking back up with Tammy,
I read some of this.
she received a Drama Desk nomination for Little Shop. as well as a Grammy Award nomination for Best Musical Theater Album for that as well. Other notable roles: The Good Shepherd, Sybil, Into the Woods, the film.
She's like one of the stepsisters.
Yeah,
Probably.
and The Invitation.
Ah.
And she was 23 when she was playing Judy. Judy's aged 13 to 20 in the
Yes.
first bit,
Yep.
and then
Yes.
Judy Davis was 45. She was playing Garland from ages 21 to 47.
That's so crazy. I love it.
It's kind of wild.
She looks
Yeah,
great.
it's good.
Yeah.
It's all good.
There's a great article, I'll link. It's called Diva Talk from Playville, chatting with How to Succeed's Tammy Blanchard. So this is from 2011. They ask her when she starts performing. Her first solo was Somewhere Over the Rainbow in front of a school audience. They ask how her love for Judy Garland started. It happened from that solo. She always loved The Wizard of Oz. Dorothy, she said, every kid loves that movie. My daughter watches it over and over again. But when I sang that song and I felt what I believed she was feeling, it just gave me such hope. I fell in love with her and was singing that song.
She's from Jersey. She's from
Jersey.
She's from Bayonne, baby.
Come on, Jersey girls.
And you could totally tell when she does interviews. She's not Judy anymore. She's a girl from Jersey. You can hear her accent.
You can
I
hear
find
it.
that fascinating. Like I'm like she's an actress because I don't sense that at all when she's acting.
She's not
It's
given.
like in her interviews, though,
amazing.
she has a Jersey accent. It's
Yeah.
Oh
amazing.
my gosh, I love it. I love it.
Amazing.
They ask how her participation in this miniseries came about. She had been working with Patty Darbanville on Guiding Light for 3 years. She introduced me to her manager, who became my manager. He walked to my dressing room and he saw Somewhere Over the Rainbow painted all over my room. I said, if you ever find that they're doing a movie on Judy Garland, I want to play her. A couple weeks later, he walked in with Variety magazine. They were doing an open call.
Tammy.
I went in, and the second time I went in, the great Neil Marin and Craig Zaden, who also were her producers
Yes,
for How
I
to
know the names.
Succeed,
Yes.
were there. She auditioned very nervously, and Neil looked at her and asked if I'd studied Judy Garland all my life. And I just knew from this very look that I got that part.
There's a comment made on the little making of the miniseries, that
Yes.
documentary that's available on YouTube as well. They say like she was it. Like they just didn't have
She
anything.
just is.
Like it just was her.
No. Yeah, I can't imagine anyone better. Anyone.
She really is.
Derek and Tammy, their whole lives have been preparing for this. Except
We're
Kenneth.
ready. Yeah. Sorry, I wasted the first few years.
Yeah, you did. You did.
She
Can't
said
go back.
she said it was heaven on earth to play her, a dream come true. You were prepared for it all your life. That moment finally comes. She said it was surreal. They plucked my eyebrows off for 2 hours. I went into the hotel room in Toronto and I looked at myself and I was unrecognizable. I called my mother. She drove 16 hours to get to me. To get to me.
She's like, I'm getting you out of there.
She drove the wrong
Oh my
way, so
God.
she had to drive another 8 hours to get to the right way because I was terrified. I knew that I had looked like her. I knew that I loved her. I knew that I had her down. But at that moment, looking in the mirror and being unrecognizable, I was so scared. I needed mommy.
Oh my
That
God.
is crazy. Because
She's
they
pretty
said that
young.
too, that she didn't really look like her when she came in.
But
to
then
audition.
she
She's
transformed
tall,
her.
she's
Yes.
lanky.
Yeah.
And then they said they still felt Judy in her without
That's-
her even looking
yeah.
like her.
That must have been scary, yeah, for herself to look in the mirror and be like, I have turned into this person that I love.
Right.
Really weird.
Yeah.
Really weird.
Right?
And Liza,
Incredible.
she met Liza too. Liza, I think, sent her flowers when she got her.
Oh,
Emmy
that's
nomination or
nice.
Something. Yeah, Liza.
Liza.
And I think they've
Class
met a couple of
act.
times. Because like Tammy's a Broadway girl. So
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
so was Liza.
Love.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Some other casting, we have John Benjamin Hickey as Roger Edens. He won the
Oh.
2011 Tony for his performance as Felix Turner in The Normal Heart.
Oh my god.
He also played Clifford Bradshaw in the 1998 revival of Cabaret, and he directed the 2022 Broadway revival of the Neil Simon play Plaza Suite, starring Sarah Jessica Parker and Matthew Broderick.
He's like very in the biz.
Yeah, I was like, okay, hello.
And
Kinda
he's
cool.
so good in this.
So
He's
good.
like I put him second in this first section of the movie as the best performance.
Yes.
His Roger is so well done. He really feels it. I love it. I think he's
Yeah.
great.
It feels right.
Mm-hmm.
We have Daniel Cash as Arthur Freed, Aidan Devine as Frank Gum, Al Waxman as Louis B. Mayer, Mickey Rooney is played by Dwayne Adams, Stuart Bick plays Artie Shaw, and Cynthia Gibb is our narrator, or Lorna Luft. Lorna Luft's voice, if you will, I suppose.
Is that Lorna?
That's one of
No.
my notes.
That's something that you would change?
That's something I find actually hurts the movie. is
Mm.
that there's this narrator, like she does a fine job, but it's just not Lorna. Like, why didn't Lorna just do it? I'd love to ask her that. Why didn't you just do it? I know that
That is
these movies are
interesting.
machines, right? And there's lots of like issues and things going on. I'm just curious why Lorna didn't do the narration because it would ring more
Oh.
true and less tropey to me if it wasn't someone acting it. Lorna should have just done it. Lorna has a beautiful voice.
I wonder why.
I
It's
don't
odd.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a question I have, but I think it actually, to me, when I watch it, I'm like, I don't like that. It's one of the only things I don't like.
I didn't even think about that till
Who
now.
was in the Bette Midler Gypsy?
She
The
was
narrator?
she was so Cynthia Gibb, our narrator, she was a cast member on the TV show Fame, and then she received a Golden Globe nomination for her performance as Gypsy Rose Lee in the film Gypsy 1993 with Bette.
Which I watched also live on TV in high school.
She also played Karen Carpenter in the 1989 Karen Carpenter story and was
Oh,
like got great reviews, I think. So,
That's the
right.
narrator. That's so
isn't
funny.
that wild?
It
Also, the
is wild.
biggest travesty is the fact that we could have maybe had Judy Garland as Mama Rose and Liza
Oh my
Minnelli
God, that's like
Mm.
as
fantasy
Louise.
stuff. Imagine that. Like I can't
That
even
is my
process that.
fantasy.
When we
Yeah,
go
me
to
too.
heaven, that's like what's happening. It's
Yes.
Right,
just
right,
that.
They're like,
right.
wherever you go,
They're like,
whatever you do.
we know you've been
They're
waiting for
performing
this.
it. Yeah,
Oh my
yeah.
gosh. Oh my
God.
God, Liza's with a lamb being like, little lamb, little lamb.
Oh my
Oh my
God.
God,
Judy's Rose's turn. Could you imagine?
I
No,
can't.
I can't. Because she would be
Like,
embodying her mother, right? Like,
It'd be
she'd
so
be
scary.
accessing her mom and her, because that's
Right.
partly her story too, right? Like,
The I did it
correct.
for you, Mama would be so iconic. Oh
oh
my
Her
my
gosh.
mom
God.
really is Gypsy Rose.
Yeah, that's the first
Oh,
note I wrote from
yeah.
the film.
Yeah.
I'm
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Well,
yeah.
let's talk about her.
Well,
Marsha Mason,
not Gypsy Rose.
or sorry, Mama
Yeah,
Rose.
Mama Rose,
Yes.
yeah.
yeah.
Yes. Marsha Mason plays Ethel.
Yep,
Marsha Mason is iconic.
she is.
She has been nominated 4 times for the Academy Award for Best Actress. Cinderella Liberty, The Goodbye Girl, Chapter 2, and Only When I Laugh. Those are from the 70s and 80s. She won Golden Globe Awards for Cinderella Liberty and The Goodbye Girl. She was also married to Neil Simon.
Amazing.
No big deal for 10 years.
Whatever.
Love.
She appeared in the soap opera Love of Life. She received a Primetime Emmy Award nom for her recurring role on Frasier in the late 90s.
Right.
Her Broadway debut was a replacement in the comedy Cactus Flower in 1968. She was in The Prisoner of Second Avenue in London. She received a Grammy nomination for Best Comedy Album for that show. 2006, she was in the American premiere of Hecuba at the Chicago Shakespeare Theater. Other Broadway credits: The Night of the Iguana, Steel Magnolias, Impressionism, TV creds: Madam Secretary, The Good Wife, recurring roles on The Middle, and the Netflix series Grace and Frankie, which is so cool.
Incredible. She's great in the film.
She is
Loved her.
great.
Scary.
She does a
Being
great
married to Neil
job.
Simon, what are we talking about? That's
I know.
insane. I think the last thing I have here is, before we get into bullets, a quick little New York Times review. It was kind of mixed, like mostly I think positive. That it definitely had some, like, kind of what we're talking about with the biopic of it all can be fall into tropes, but basically because it says, the genre itself is a little cliche. The script is sometimes hackneyed, but there's 2 brilliant performances from Judy Davis, Tammy Blanchard. But it has a sleek script. Wait, didn't it just say it was hackneyed script? Then it says it's sleek. I don't know. It's mixed. It says that Miss Davis in particular captures the pain that Judy felt.
Mm,
She's empathetic. She's merciless, jittery. Her mouth twists. She's monstrously selfish and helpless. This is no caricature, but the embodiment of the woman that the insecure teenager star had become. Um, and then it does mention that this is clear that it's based on Lorna's memoir. Sid Luft, played by Victor Garber, who becomes Judy's third husband and the father of Lorna and Joey, has a saintly
mm.
patience, while Liza Minnelli's emerging career is played down. Life with Judy Garland does not glamorize her tragedies or diminish her achievements. It does something rare, restoring humanity to an icon.
I
Ooh.
agree with that. I do think
So
it
do I.
restores a very normal person to
Yeah.
this
I
myth
agree.
legend.
Yeah.
Agree.
And just to comment really quickly on that, that's the whole reason again why Lorna wrote this. Um, I'm proud of my mother, fiercely proud, but I also know how tough it is when you give a human being the status of legend. By definition, the legend is half fiction and larger than life. The same is true of my mother. My family has benefited from that reality, but it has also suffered from it.
Mm.
It's
Yeah.
heavy, but really good. And you can see why she was spurred to write the book.
Yeah.
100%.
Because when people
100%.
think of Judy, they tend to think of like tragedy. And I think that that was something that has changed in this century. But I think in the 20th century, it was always like, oh, so sad. You know
Yes.
what I mean? Whereas now I think we can look at it a little bit differently and be like, she gave us so
Yeah.
much. And yes, she had a
Mm-hmm.
sad life. Yes, she was a victim of a system. But I think
Yeah.
ultimately she gave us positive things, and
She gave us joy.
she unites us, and I think she's, I don't know, my life would be very different had she never existed.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
know.
It's holding space
It's
for
so
all of
hard because she
all of
like
it.
sacrificed any normalcy I think she would have had.
Right.
There's a moment where Lorna says, like, imagine if like Ethel, Judy's mother, just listened to Frank, Judy's father, and they just kind of like stayed in Minnesota in Grand
Can you
Rapids.
imagine?
And like
It'd be
Lorna's like,
different.
I'd be teaching music at a high school right now. Like she said that in the book.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I was like,
right.
that's so, because like the talents would still be there,
Yeah,
but
the
they just
talent. Yeah.
did not have the ambition to go anywhere to make money
And
the
that's
academy.
many people's story. There are
Yes.
people who could have been legends, but it's all about, it's not equal. It's like there, if you don't live near one of these big cities,
They're
you
not
have
like
Right.
less
pushing if
opportunities.
there's like, yeah, the
Yeah,
drive has to be there.
right. So,
And that's the silver, not that's if there's a silver lining to Ethel and her crazy manic ambition, it's
yeah,
that she put Judy in a situation by moving to Hollywood, by auditioning and getting her into MGM, that gave us her. That's what I'm trying to say. Yes. So because of, her pushiness and stuff, Judy was able to go on a platform and be who she was,
right.
right or wrong.
I know, right or wrong.
I'm not
Mm,
sure what it is. It's both.
I
yeah,
think it's both.
both.
I think Judy found such a thrill out of performing. And I love, like, Lauren does a good job of showing, like, though, when she was with her sisters, it was just fun and family time. And then it became, oh, I'm by myself. This is just me. My family's
Mm.
income is on me. Like, it just
That's
changed
where the pressure
completely.
comes in.
Yeah, I'll
You're
bring up any notes
providing.
on that as we go
Yeah.
along.
Well, Derek, do you want to give us some
Yes.
bullets on this first part of the mini series, and then
Yes.
we'll dive in?
Shall I do them all at once? Yes.
I think
Yes,
just go
go for
for
it.
it. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, as we have said, this is my bullet one. So, the story of singer and actress Judy Garland's life, as told to by daughter Lorna, starts in 1924 in Grand Rapids, Minnesota, where a marquee announces that the Gum Sisters are performing at the new Grand Theater. Two little girls sing on stage and are followed by their toddler sister, known as Baby Gum, who keeps running on the stage to sing choruses of jingle bells to the delight of the audience. Baby's mother Ethel eggs her on from the pit, and her father Frank stands off stage, encouraging her and holding hands with another man, with
Ooh.
which Ethel sees. I know. It's clear from Ethel's reaction to Baby Gum's performance that she has big, ambitious things planned for her youngest daughter. The movie then cuts quickly to 1935, where we're introduced to a now 13-year-old baby, Frances, who has changed her name to Judy Garland, and the family has relocated to California. Her father accompanies her to an impromptu audition at MGM Studios, the biggest in Hollywood, where she knocks the socks off of bigwigs and gets the job, and it's remarked that she's a little girl but has a big voice.
Mhm.
Once signed, she meets child actor and confidant Mickey Rooney and, fatefully, Roger Edens, a music accompanist who is key to shaping both young Judy's voice and performance style. He explains to her in their sessions together that what they're to search for is what is true and genuine. Perhaps being the first person ever to see that the possible true connection this teenager could have with an audience. Sadly, the most traumatic event of Judy's young life happens just a few months after signing with MGM. Her beloved father, Frank, dies from spinal meningitis at age 49, devastating Judy, who rightly realizes then that her main protector is gone.
Mm.
Bullet 2, MGM 1938. It is now 3 years later, and while Judy has had to endure being called fat, ugly, and a hunchback, it's her stunning voice and adorable personality that is advancing her at MGM. On the set of Love Finds Andy Hardy, L.B. Mayer announces to Judy that they have purchased the rights to the book The Wonderful Wizard of Oz, and she is to play Dorothy. She almost loses the film role to Shirley Temple, but once again, Roger Eden steps in and champions her for Dorothy, and she ends up making the film, thereby changing her life and our lives forever. The pressure starts to build for Judy during Oz, and her mother Ethel receives diet pills from the studio doctors to give the overworked child some stamina and to keep her weight down, thereby perhaps starting a cycle of substance abuse that she would struggle with her whole life. Judy becomes a star after Oz and Babes in Arms, and even fulfills her beloved father's prophecy that she would one day put her hands in the cement at Grauman's Theater on Hollywood Boulevard. Bullet 3, last bullet. Now the early 40s, an 18-year-old Judy Garland is now attending nightclubs and falling in love with band leader Artie Shaw. On a date, she tells him her voice has a life of its own, and he says she actually becomes the song. This is the affirmation Judy is always needing, and the rest of the world sees her as a paycheck.
Such a good scene.
I know, it's so great.
Lorna's favorite scene in the film is that scene.
Yeah, it feels really real to me. It feels like an actual thing that Judy would have actually said.
Yeah.
Because people did look at her as a paycheck. They looked at her as a commodity, which is a really sad thing to think about. But anyway, Ethel doesn't like the hours Judy is keeping, so she brings the problem to Mr. Mayer, who weaponizes his fatherly relationship with her that he's tried to establish to control her life fully. Though her movie career is on a gradual ramp up, personally, things are beginning to deteriorate. And when she finds out that Artie Shaw has eloped with Lana Turner,
After he said he wouldn't.
That was
I know.
Yeah, he's
It
like,
rocks
no,
her world.
never.
Yeah. But then boom. Crazy.
I'm sure that
her world is
lasted not
rocked.
long.
It did not. It lasted a matter of days or months.
What?
It was nothing. It was a joke.
Married her too. Yeah.
Vicky
And
Rooney
she's-
did? Oh my God.
Lana Turner's kind
So-
of amazing.
What?
It's like,
She
sure.
is. She's an amazing person. Yeah. Talk
Okay.
about off-screen drama.
Let's do
yeah.
it.
Yes.
The final section of the Tammy Blanchard part of the film, we advance to the making of Girl Crazy, where tyrannical director Busby Berkeley is pushing Judy too
seems
hard,
tough.
and she has to rely more and more on pills, and results in a collapse during the filming of I Got Rhythm. Now on bed rest, Roger Edens seems to be her only ally. Everyone else is exploiting her. This section of the film ends in a heartbreaking scene where a bedridden Judy confesses to Roger how much she misses her father. And she'll do better, but it's clear the price of stardom is beginning to erode her life. Lorna's voiceover returns, and a montage of magazine covers and movie titles flash by as we transition to the mid-40s, which will be a new era for Judy. End of bullets.
Those are so good.
So good, Derek.
Beautiful.
Thank
Yeah, that was
you.
well done.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for listening to part 1 of this episode. Stay tuned for part 2 dropping this Wednesday.
Thank you so much for listening to Down the Yellow Brick Pod. We love linking arms and skipping with listeners like you.
A special thank you to our Patreon Pod Squad members who have become our Found Oz fam all across the globe. If you'd like to join, follow the link in show notes for more info.
Again, you can catch us on the socials and on Etsy serving up some merch, all linked in show notes below.
And lastly, if you are feeling the pod and looking for a free way to support us, consider leaving us an Apple rate and review. Each Apple review also equals an entry into our full-out, no marking, end of the season giveaway, fit for any level Oz fan.
As always, all previous reviews will also be considered in our entries. If you've been with us since 2020, oh, we see you.
Thank you, Ozians. We'll see you over the rainbow soon.
In a clock tick.